Well, it's the finale we've all been waiting for. We finally get to find out how Ahsoka comes to its conclusion, and you probably won't be surprised at all to realize that this entire 8-episode series is a giant waste of stinking pile of dog shit. That is what we've ended up with this show, just a waste of time. Literally 8 episodes, what, $100 million, maybe more, spent on doing absolutely nothing. Adding nothing of value to Star Wars, just a load of more unwanted nonsense. That is where we're at with this show. Again, 8 episodes. You've done nothing, Dave. You've decided to do nothing with the time that you've been given. You've had an opportunity to show the people your talents, only for us to realise, oh, this guy ain't got no talent. Who would have thought it? You know, who could have possibly predicted this, considering we've had him write episodes of The Mandalorian, which are also terrible. So it's not surprising to me. Maybe surprising to some people. I don't know why it would. But yeah, he's given us, as I say, a stinking pile of dog shit. And it's, you know, again, it's... can I really say I'm disappointed? Because at this point, you know, what is Star Wars? It's a corpse. That is all it is. It's a corpse that every now and again it lets a little fart go. That's about it. That is about it. That's where we're at with Star Wars. That hasn't ended. They still keep plowing ahead with all these shows and movies that they're supposedly doing that are most likely going to get cancelled. Especially, and I do hope, especially, Dave Filoni's movie, because why bother? Why bother? But, you know, we might as well get into it, get it out of the way, and, you know, we can go back to never talking about Ahsoka as soon as it hits, at the very least, Monday. Because that'll be when everybody forgets that this show even existed. Even the people that claim it's peak Star Wars, never going to be watched again. So we start out, you know, if you remember in the previous episode, it was a bunch of nonsense. I don't care to go through it again. I'm just so done with it. But we start out with Thrawn. He's on his big Star Destroyer that he never fucking utilizes. Never utilizes it. You remember in the previous episode, he had a lot of trouble with Ahsoka and that, because he decided to send people in on the ground to fight them, rather than going, oh, I've got this Star Destroyer here, let me just whoop over here and drop bombs. Then you've never got to worry about Ahsoka ever again. But he didn't do that. Instead, he sent a load of people in on the... We already know how incompetent stormtroopers are. I don't even know why you'd bother sending them in. Honestly, the better choice at this point for any person that has stormtroopers is just kill them yourself. That would be the better option, because they are not going to bring you any success. But as we heard from Thrawn in the previous episode, after being beaten, he said, oh no, if you think about it, it's actually a success, even though it wasn't. That is the smarts of Thrawn. Someone that's supposed to be of very high intelligence, being written by a fool. That's why we have what we have. So he's in his little Star Destroyer, can't utilize it in any way. And finally he's like, oh, the cargo transfer is complete. You know, you remember, he was told by the witches, oh, Morgan Elsbeth, she's coming to get you. And he didn't think to go, all right, let's get prepared. Let's get ready to shoot off. We don't even know what this cargo is. Yet he's spending 3 episodes loading it onto his Star Destroyer. He didn't think to do the prep work, this supposed genius, before Morgan came here. He thought, nah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'll just wait till she gets here so she can just, you know, hang about. And then we'll eventually go. There's no urgency. Even when he knows there's Ahsoka and all that are here. Again, that's the reason why it's set up this way. Is so, we need to give Ahsoka and the team as much opportunity as possible to stop me leaving this galaxy. So that's why he's spending 3 episodes transferring cargo onto his Star Destroyer. Cargo, we don't even know what it is. And we don't find out what it is. Because, you know, again, we're dealing with a show there was no point to this show. The only point to the show, oh, well, we need to get Thrawn back in the usual galaxy. That's it. So that can lead in to a shitty little film that's most likely not going to get made. So that's why this show has had nothing of consequence. So he's then told by fucking gold twat face, he's told, oh, no, he tells the guy, right, we're gonna bring down the Eye of Sion. We're gonna bring that down to the planet, rather than, you know, what you usually do is you leave that up in space, and then you fly your Star Destroyer into space, and then you dock within it. That's generally how you do it. You don't bring the thing. I've never seen NASA do that, where you bring it down into the atmosphere. But that's how they've got it set up, because we can't just leave, because we need Ahsoka to get here first. That's why it is. So before he's doing that, he's then told, oh, we've got a location on where Ahsoka and that is. So he's like, right, well, send out the TIE fighter. We'll send two TIE fighters. If they find them, tell them to engage, rather than just go, fucking leave them. We're ready to go. So all we have to do is jump in the ship, fly up, dock, and leave. There's no chance of Ahsoka getting here before you can do that. So just leave. Don't worry about sending. You didn't think of that in the previous episode, so don't bother now. Just leave. You're ready to go. Just leave. But no, he's not going to do that. He's going to hang about. It's like you're just going to lose again. Why bother? So Morgan, of course, like most of us, is like, well, just leave. And he's like, oh, we can't leave the Jedi. I've been a victim of the Jedi before, when Ezra, you know, made me go to this galaxy. I'm not leaving them a lot, even though in the previous episodes he said, oh, I've sent Balin and that out to get them. Just leave them there, though. They'd die here. But now he's, like, really concerned about it. So it's just like, you know, again, why bother at this point? We already know sending out TIE fighters isn't going to do anything. You're not going to achieve anything, because you're the bad guy and they're the heroes. So we already know sending TIE, that's not going to have any consequences. You know, no one's going to end up shot up or anything like that. They're all going to be perfectly fine, because the plot armor in this series has been insane. Lightsaber fights mean nothing. Space fights mean nothing. Nothing means anything. No battle is ever going to have any consequences except the bad guys losing. That's it. So just stop wasting your time. Leave this planet. Go back to your galaxy. That's all you're concerned about. Or what you should be concerned about. But no, he's like, nah, we've got to deal with them. Even though we're ready to leave. And if we leave, do you know what happens? They die. So it's like it's going to have it's going to have a better outcome than what your plan is. We already know your plan isn't going to harm them in any way, even though, based on what we're to see in this episode, it really should. Multiple instances where it's like, yeah, you should be dead. But no, we've got massive amounts of plot armor. So he's just like, nah, never again. Never, even though I'm ready to go and I can just leave them to die here. So then we get the Cringe Sisters back. I'm tired of them already. It's just a load of magic bullshit. That's all it is, magic bullshit. So they're now like honouring Morgan. She's becoming a sister of the Dathomir bullshit. And I'm just like, I don't care. You haven't done anything with this character. It's like, I don't even know, what is it? So what did she want to come here for? She wanted to come to join this sisterhood? What was it? I don't know, because she's got nothing to her. Just like Thrawn, just like Ahsoka, just like Sabine. There's nothing to any of them. And especially Morgan Elsbeth, she's in the same boat as Hera, where it's like, you haven't done anything with them, so I don't give a fuck. Why waste time on them if you're not willing to actually do something with them in a more major way? So what we're going to do, we're going to spend 6 minutes on this shit. So they're like, step up. You're going to be rewarded with the gift of shadows, whatever the fuck that means. I don't know what that is, but she's being gifted with the gift of shadows. I don't know what the fuck that is. So she's like, yes, I will join you. So they do, again, it's like, oh, we want your loyalty and your life. And then she does some magic shit to her face. And I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. I don't fucking care. You're talking about giving her the gift of shadows. I don't know what that is. So why do we have it at all? I don't know. So yeah, they just do some magic bullshit to her, and then she has, you know, black eyes. Right, okay. And then they give her the sword of, what do they call it? The blade of Taozin. So we're gonna get to see a fight with that later on, and it's like, again, why bother? There's no point giving a shit about any sword fights or anything. So she's got that, and she's eventually gonna use it with Ahsoka. We've got a lot of fights this episode. So yeah, that's it. The Jedi, the Witch, and the Warlord. Fuck off, Dave. You'll start to notice, especially in this episode, you know, well, not even just with that title, but they do stuff with, like, Lord of the Rings. Like, you've got the Eye of Sion. Remember, like, the Eye of Sauron. You even have the Númenórean statues in this episode. Because, you know, I just get the impression from Dave Filoni that he's a fan fiction writer, and not a very good one. When that's, you know, oh, I'm a big fan of Lord of the Rings. I would detect you in it. So he's called this episode, you know, like the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. He called this the Jedi, the Witch, and the Warlord. You're like, again, he's like a child. That's why we have very childish storytelling. So you'll notice here, now, what's going on at this very moment? Thrawn is going to escape. He's going to leave the planet. So what Ahsoka and co have decided to do, we're going to fly at 10 mile an hour. Very slowly. When Thrawn's about to escape. No, we're going to go very slowly. Fucking honestly. So that's what they're doing. They're just flying along at 10 mile an hour. It's like, no, Thrawn's going to escape. Can you get a fucking move on? But no, they're not doing that. So then we've got to spend 5 minutes about Ezra's making a new lightsaber. Okay? And we just get a load of exposition about, oh, Kanan fucking Janan, whatever his name is, was his master. And Hai-Yung taught his master how to make lightsabers. And that master taught Ezra how to make lightsabers. Again, I don't fucking care. How is that interesting that, oh, I taught people how to make lightsabers, and then that person passed it on to that, but, right, okay? What's that got to do with anything? Absolutely nothing. But that is what they're continuing to do. You know, going at 10 mile an hour, Thrawn's about to escape, but, you know, why worry about that when your entire goal, especially with Ahsoka, was to prevent that? That's your entire purpose in this show. And you're like, it'll be fine. He's waiting for us anyway. Oh, this show is so shit. Absolute shit. Don't know how people can defend it or say it's good. I just don't understand it. So, yes, we just... then it's just more stuff to do with Sabine and Ahsoka. Ezra asks, you know, she fucks off. And Ezra asks, oh, what happened between... Ezra still doesn't know that she came here and, you know, undid everything. Or he hasn't even had a reaction to it. When it's like, if I sacrificed myself and my friend undid that, I'd be very fucking angry. Because it's like, all this stuff was for nothing. I sat alone on this planet for years. And you've just undid it. That's what his reaction should be. Instead, it's like, nah, it's fine. I'm not really a character that matters anyway. It's all about Sabine, mainly. The biggest bitch in the show. Just an absolute smug prick. So, yeah, he's like, oh, what happened between them? He's like, oh, well, The stuff on Mandalore happened. You know, they exterminated Sabine's family. Again, I don't care about Sabine. So Sabine is dooming the galaxy, and has shown no remorse. We haven't seen her yet go, fuck, what have I done? What decision have I... We haven't seen her do that. And as I said, she's going to face no consequences. And she faces no consequences. She's told, actually, it's fine by Ahsoka. When it's like, no, you're a piece of shit. That is what Sabine is. But again, it's like, no, we can't have them have consequences or see them deal with these consequences. You know, unless you're a sociopath, most people are going to be, shit, what have I done? But no, there's just none of that. She doesn't care. She's just like, oh, well, I got Ezra. I got what I want. I don't even know how Ezra is still friends with you, because I wouldn't be friends with you if you had undid what I sacrificed myself for. So, yes, Young's just talking about, well, you know, Ahsoka thought that Sabine was training as a Jedi for the wrong reasons. She thought that, she turned bad. Like Anakin Skywalker. So then we come out, we've got another boring conversation. Again, we're 10 minutes in now. We're 10 minutes in, and this is what we've done. 10 minutes in. Unbelievable. So, Ahsoka the White is sitting up there. Oh, look, like Lord of the Rings, Ahsoka the White. It's just cringe, Dave. So, we get stuff like, your gamble paid off, Sabine. No, it didn't. Thrawn's going to escape. That's how did our gamble pay off? She didn't gamble anything. So, she, again, just pretty much being given a pass at the choices she's made. It's like Ahsoka should be angry with her. It's just like, nah, it's all fine. Fuck it, honestly, none of these people act like people. There's just nothing of humanity in them. It's just nothing. It's cardboard faces. So, what else do they say? Let me just see. So, yeah, she's like, you must be pleased. Your gamble paid off. And then she's like, no, actually, I'm relieved. I'm relieved that I made this decision. Now Thrawn's going to go back to the galaxy and cause mayhem. No, she's relieved about that. Again, Dave Filoni has no awareness. Has no awareness of what people are, how people act. Just none at all. Just like, no, she'd be relieved, wouldn't she? Well, no, with most people, they'd be very distraught about the choices they've made. That's how people act, unless you're crazy. But no, so then what other stuff do we get? She said, you know that Sabine's doomed the galaxy. She just says, I'm sorry. And then she starts smiling. Fucking hell. No awareness, and she's like, "You're not mad, Ahsoka?" No, Ahsoka, she's fine and dandy with it, even though her whole mission was to prevent Thrawn from returning. That was her entire mission. Sabine fucked that up, and Ahsoka has nothing. She has nothing to say, nothing of interest, just nothing. She's fine with it. So Ahsoka is pretty much complicit at this point. Fuck her too. So she's like, over the years, I've made my share of difficult choices. Some people never understood my reasons, but my master Anakin did. He stood by me at every choice I made. He's a fucking dipshit then. He is a dipshit. If you're training someone and you're just going along with whatever they're doing and not saying, well, Ahsoka, maybe you shouldn't make this decision because of this. That's generally what someone that is teaching someone does. They don't just stand by you at any stupid fucking decision you make. But that's apparently how it worked. He stood by her the whole time. Never made a mistake. Anakin just let her do it. He never thought, I could give her some insight here. About, if you make that choice, these are the consequences. If you make them, no, that's, teachers don't do that. Honestly, no clue. Absolutely no clue. But again, it's just a way of giving Sabine a pass. That's all it is. It's like, no, she doesn't get a pass. She's the reason Thrawn is going to go back to the galaxy. She is the reason, and she is the reason alone. And you're not willing to say anything, to push back on any choice she's made. Just like, nah, it's all good. So, do we get anything? Yeah, well, we went over the stuff about Anakin. Of course, we get a cameo from him later on, so that makes it a 10 out of 10 episode, guys. At least to some people. At least to some people. So she's just like, I'm going to be there for you. And then they go into, oh, have you kept up with your training? And you're just like, Ahsoka, you do realise she was a prisoner. And then she was looking for Ezra, although that only took her 5 minutes. Where, what time has she had to train? So, don't know what all that's about. So, we get more shit about, let me see. She's like, I'll tell you a secret, Sabine. Being a Jedi, even though I said in previous episodes, I wasn't training you to be a Jedi, I was training you to be yourself. Now she's back to, I'm training you to be a Jedi. So she's like, I'll tell you a secret. Being a Jedi isn't about wielding a lightsaber. That is an aspect of it, though. I don't know. It's not about that. Why would you? What? That's a very weird choice of words. Instead of, being a Jedi isn't all about lightsabers, which is, you can say that, but to say it's not about lightsabers at all, it's like, well, it is. That is an aspect of it. Do you know what the other aspect of it? Having the ability to wield the Force, which Sabine can't until later on at the end of the episode. She can then use the Force to the full capabilities that you can. She lifts up a lightsaber later, and then she can, like, fucking push, like, well, we'll talk about it when we get there. That's a very stupid part of the episode. So she's like, you need to train your mind and body as well. She doesn't go on with that point. Go into, right, so in what way, Ahsoka, how do you train your mind? How do you train your body? What is this way that you do it? Because teaching someone, you can't just say, oh, train your mind. Oh, yeah, but how? How do I do that? Don't know. Ahsoka never thought to tell me. She's just like, I'll figure it out. Just train your mind. So, I don't even know who is letting Ahsoka teach anyone. She's a fucking idiot. So that goes on for a bit. So, then of course, as soon as Ezra's, right, I've got my new lightsaber, even though I said I don't need a lightsaber in the previous episode, the Force is my ally. He then went on to use a gun, even though he said the Force was his ally. And now he's back to, all right, now I'm using lightsabers again. Right, okay, so what? I thought you didn't need this. And then, of course, as soon as he's done that, our TIE fighters show up. And already I'm like, oh, yeah, nothing's going to happen. Nothing is going to happen with this. No one's going to get hit. It's going to be fine. So it's like, so what should happen, really? They are flying at 10 miles an hour. They're standing on the ship. There's no one inside to fly it. So the TIE fighters can just come in and bomb the shit out of them. They're done. They don't do that. They fly by once. And they then give them the opportunity to get back in the ship. I don't know why. I think they hit it. Finally, the ship gets hit with something. Now, you'd think this would cause, a lot of disaster in terms of the ship. And that gets worse in a minute. So, because the back end is starting to fall down, Ahsoka and that hold it up. Because, you can do that with something that gigantic. So they hold it up, and then the TIE fighters come back, and then Sabine needs a short burst of energy. So what she does, she flies off, right? And we'll go through this. So she flies off. There's the TIE fighters. The TIE fighters don't fucking move at all. No, they go like that. What fucking good is that gonna do? Just go, bleh, and you're out the way. But no, instead what happens is they just stay there. And then Sabine hits them with the wings, both of them. What the fuck? What the fuck was that? Again, every stormtrooper's incompetent. TIE fighters, all of it's incompetent. Why? Again, we've already went over this. It's like, why are you staying in the same place? It's like, just move. She wasn't even going that fast. You had multiple opportunities to just move out the way. And you're like, nah, I'm going to go like that because that will save me. So, no, that doesn't work. So then what happens is, because Sabine's done that, it just plummets to the ground. Right, all right, so hopefully Sabine's dead. I wouldn't mind that outcome. But of course not. You know, you already know she's going to be fine. But that's the state of the ship. That ship is utterly destroyed. Good luck fixing it. It's fixed in about 10 minutes. It's fine, even though it just plummeted to the ground. In a nosedive as well. So Sabine gets out. She's all hunky-dory. She just walks up like a smug bitch and says, "Got 'em." Okay, you destroyed the ship, but whatever. And you only got them because they were incompetent, not because you're good at what you do. You got them because they're not very good. That is the only reason why. So Ezra's like, not to point out the obvious, it's going to take us a long while to get... You weren't in a rush anyway. You were going at 10 miles an hour. You weren't in a rush anyway. So Ahsoka says to that, only if we let it. It will only slow us down, only if we let it. It's like, well, no, you don't have a choice in the matter. You now got to walk, but then from somewhere, from out of nowhere, the two wolf creatures come out. So Sabine, so they all ride off on them. I don't know where they got them from. I think, you know, even if you were to go back a few shots, I don't think you'd see the beasts. So I don't know where they got them from. But it's like, so now, right, your ship's destroyed, and now you're in a rush. You weren't in a rush before. Honestly, no sense of urgency. So that's when Thrawn finds out, oh, it didn't work. So then he's like, well, if you actually think about it, this is what I meant to do all along. That is basically his character at this point. He's the guy that pretends like he knows what he's doing. It's like Austin Powers. That's what we're dealing with here. That is the... So Thrawn is like, all right, well, you know, we made it harder for them to get here. You know, it will be very hard for them to get here. And then he's like, which is why we're going to prepare a ground assault. Yeah, but they can't get to you. Just leave, Thrawn. You can leave right this minute. And they're never going to stop you. They will die here. I don't understand how those sentences make sense. Oh, they're not going to be able to get here now then. Which is why we're going to prepare a ground assault. What? You just said, oh, they can't get here now. And now you're going to prepare a ground assault, even though you know they can't get here. You know you can just leave and let them die. No. We need stuff to happen. We need to give them the opportunity to get here. What a load of bullshit this series is. So let me just see whereabouts we are. But yeah, he's just like, it will be impossible for them to stop us now, which is why we'll prepare for a ground assault. You already tried that. It's not going to work. Again, every time, your plans are never going to work. They're not allowed to work because we can't see our heroes suffer. We can't have any of that. We can't have any consequences for them. So just give up, leave. They will die here. You know, of starvation or old age. They can't leave. The space whales have gone. They're not coming back. So just leave. But no, instead they go, we're going to prepare a load of stormtroopers. And already it's why? Why? There is no point. You are wasting your time and your resources. Just leave. These people are not going to do anything. There is about 50 of them, and we're about to get to a scene where, oh, what do you know? It has no effect whatsoever. They all get killed. Just every time. What is the point in stormtroopers anymore if every time they are incompetent? There's no competency to them, even though they're supposed to be trained soldiers. And they're just like, nah, we're just gonna stand and shoot at the bad guys, and we're gonna walk right up to them with our guns, even though they have, we've got long distance weapons. So it's just like every time, I don't see the point in the stormtroopers anymore. Why did the Empire ever use them? So yeah, Morgan's like, oh, the sisters have protected you with something, protected you against the Jedi in your battle. So yeah, but that doesn't happen though. But we'll talk about what happens. It's fucking retarded. So those are the people that are going to go down. She's like, they're honored to make the sacrifice. So we're getting there. So Ahsoka's talking to Huyang or something like that. I can't. What is this part again? It gets to a point where there's not really anything said. No, we're fine. So yeah, she's just like, oh, what we're up against it. So that's how they're doing it. Why are they doing it that way? I've never seen that. It's like general. That's like something you keep in the air, in space. Then you fly up to it and then you dock. But they're doing it that way for some strange reason. So they're getting there, and then they're like, rain fire on them. Finally, he uses his Star Destroyer, and what do you know? Nothing happens. Fucking, of course. Plot armor. So then as they're running towards the door, they're like, Ezra and Ahsoka are using the Force to open the door. Ahsoka says to Sabine, Sabine, can you help as well? Sabine doesn't have the Force, Ahsoka, you dumb bint. Did you not get the memo? So you telling her to... What is that doing? What is that? I don't know why you would even bother saying that. It's so stupid. So that's when we get the light... They're just deflecting every bullet. Every laser. We'll see how many there are here. We'll get a good look at them. Right, so that's how many of them there are. Right, you have lightsabers, you can deflect bullets, but see if there's like 50 bullets at you. You can't deflect that. I'm sorry, but at least one of them is going to hit you. That's what's going to happen, but no, it doesn't. So, of course, we get the usual shit where stormtroopers have guns. They're going up against people that have things in their hands, meaning they have to get close to you to cause any damage. So the people with guns walk towards the people that need you to get close to them in order to cut you down. So, again, it's just all the usual stuff. Absolutely useless. The amount of them. The amount of them that was set... No, they're done. Done. So what was the point in that? You just kind of bugged them a little. That was it. That was all you done. So that was a waste of time. So then they then start doing this magic shit. Because what we're about to get is, you'll soon see, we're getting zombie stormtroopers. Right, so right, we're really just going into the territory of, oh, who the fuck cares? We're just going into the territory of, oh no, there are no rules. We now have these witches of Dathomir, whatever the fuck they're called, doing this sort of stuff. What are we doing? There's a mystical side to Star Wars, but this is just taking the piss. Just, again, whatever, magic can just do whatever. We're not going to have any rules for it. We can now raise the dead. That's what we're doing now. Which, again, why are the witches even bothering? Because, again, it doesn't matter anyway. They don't get stopped by them. So all you've done is, oh, look what we can do. We can raise them back to life. But yeah, but they're not stopping the people that are trying to stop you. So that was a waste of time. Doing all those chants, pointless. Pointless. So that's when they start heading up. They're then chased by them. Again, that's how many stormtroopers there were. Not one of them managed to get a bullet on them. Even though there's like 50 bullets coming at them at a time. So, no, it doesn't work that way. So they're getting chased up there. Ezra gets grabbed. He has to be saved by Sabine, even though Sabine's shit. And, from what Ezra's meant to be really good, isn't he? But no. So that's when they make their way up. Thrawn makes, you know what Thrawn does? You know, came all this way. Morgan has come all this way to rescue him, to take him back to the galaxy, and he's like, "Oh, can you stay behind?" So he's now leaving her here to stop Ahsoka and that. So what happens is she fights with Ahsoka, and Sabine and Ezra still follow him. So it's like, oh, what was the point in that then? You know, oh, you'll be able to stop them, Morgan, although there's two others of them that you can't fight at the same time. So they're just going to walk by you and continue on their path. So that was, you know, essentially she's going to die for no reason. So he's just like, for the Empire. You know, I want you to do this so they don't get aboard. And she's like, I understand. And then she says to herself, for Dathomir. Okay, don't know nothing about you, don't care. So then that's when they come in. And Ahsoka says to them two, I'll go and get Thrawn. It's like, what the fuck? What was the point in sending Morgan here then? If you still got, she's got two other people with her. So that was silly. I don't know why they didn't send the other witches. That would have made more sense. Instead, Ahsoka's just like, oh, continue on. So she's going to fight Morgan. Wow. Another lightsaber fight. I so give a fuck about these. They so have loads and loads of stakes. No stakes at all. And again, Ahsoka, Ahsoka using two lightsabers is fucking pointless as well. She has two lightsabers. We get a lot of, you know, when one lightsaber is held up against the sword and they're like, you know, battling out. Ahsoka doesn't think, oh, I've got this other lightsaber here. Bush. Done. Like, every time it's like, you have another lightsaber that is currently doing nothing. Use it. Otherwise, what is the point in two lightsabers? It's like you should already win this fight based on a lot of the way it's done. But no, every time it's just like, I'm not going to make use of my second lightsaber. I'm going to keep coming down like this. Use the other one. So then Ezra and that get up here, which results in, you know, of course, Sabine's helmet comes off. Got to see the actor's face. So it's just a load of stuff going on. I don't know if we get to the part yet. They drop their lightsabers. Not very good, are they? So they're about ready to go. You know, get the ship, like, you know, it boots up. Like, Ahsoka stops mid-fight. It's like, you're in the middle of a fight, Ahsoka. Don't worry about what the sounds are. Because she's going to kill you if you don't pay attention. So that continues going on. They finally beat them. And then, yeah, that's when Sabine, she now has the Force out of fucking nowhere. Because anybody can use the Force. Just anybody can use it. Which is why I don't know why Thrawn doesn't fucking train everyone to be a Jedi. But no, he's not going to do that. That would be too intelligent, you see. So she's now got the use of the Force. It's like, yeah, you've done one little thing. That doesn't mean you can do, you know, anything more than that. All you've done is lifted up a lightsaber. That's very, very basic level stuff. That you then have to train in order to maybe pick up, you know, a bigger rock. You got to do a lot of training for that. So we'll go through this a bit because I thought it was fucking ridiculous. And it is. So what their plan is, what Ezra... Right, so look at that. Now, if you were a betting man, do you think they'd be able to jump that gap? Do you think they'd be... Fucking no, I don't care if you got the Force or not. You're not making that jump. But no, Ezra makes it. Fuck off. So that's a load of bollocks. So what happens is... So they're going to get... Ezra's going to get ready to run and jump. So that's how... You know, he's also got to get height. And it's currently still moving away. He hasn't jumped yet, so he runs back. He's like, I'm ready, and then he goes for the jump. And if we just get to where the jump is... That's how far that jump is. What? You're not making that. So, of course, he's not making it. He gets so far and then starts falling. I don't even believe you get that far. There's no way. So then he's falling. And then Sabine, now a master of the Force, she force pushes him up on the ledge. Because that's how that works. You move a lightsaber and you have full capabilities of the Force. That's just how it works, everybody. I don't make the rules. That's just how it works. No, it doesn't. So he's now aboard the ship. He throws them two out, and Sabine decides not to leave Ahsoka to die again, like she did before. And Ahsoka wasn't bothered about that. So Ezra's going off, and Sabine has run to help her. She's like, your friends are dead. You know, again, they don't just shoot Ahsoka straight away. They're like, nah, I'm a villain. I've got to say things first to give your friend an opportunity to stop me. And then that's when Morgan Elsbeth is dead. You know, who cares? She's dead now. Okay, we're done with that. And they finally start leaving, and Ezra's on the ship himself. So he's on the ship. So then that's when Thrawn starts bombarding the big structure that Ahsoka and that is on. For some reason, even though the Ahsoka ship was destroyed, from somewhere, Hyung has somehow fixed it, and they just jump. They don't even know that ship's coming. So it's like, why are you jumping off that? You don't know that Hyung was there. You're not in communication with him. Whatever. I guess she must have told him to do that, even though she didn't know if he could restore the ship. So they start chasing after him, and then he fucks off. He talks to her. He's like, "Oh, Ahsoka Tano, allow me to command you on your efforts today, but you lost because you're Anakin Skywalker's Padawan. So I knew how you think because you two are the same, even though they're not." Completely different people. So he's just like, I know you because I know your master. So then he's like, goodbye, I'm going back to the galaxy. With Ezra. So Ezra's on his own. So Ezra could die. So Sabine, they don't think about that. Which we'll soon get to. So now Ahsoka, they're like, oh, we're stuck here. Oh, it's fine, let's move on. That's the attitude. Not, oh fuck, we what about Ezra? Will he be okay? He's on the, they even say, oh, Ezra's, you got Ezra home, Sabine. It's like, no, you don't know that. How did you, what if Thrawn just instantly killed him as soon as he noticed he was on his ship? What if that happened to Ahsoka? You didn't think about that, did you? But no, it's just like, we can't have Sabine face consequences. We can't see her grapple with consequences. So I've got to do my best to make sure she realizes she's done absolutely nothing wrong. Even though the entire series has been Sabine doing things wrong. Making the wrong decisions. So they're all good. Ahsoka looks at that. You probably forgot about Shin and Baylan. Yeah, they have a cameo. These mystery people. We don't find out who the fuck they are or what the fuck they want. We don't know what Baylan wants. We don't know who he is. Great job, Dave. Great job. You definitely deserve to be employed at Lucasfilm. Because that's filled with a load of other incompetent pricks. So, yeah, so she just lifts up a lightsaber. She's going to be the leader of them, I guess. We then go to Baylan. Look, it's like Lord of the Rings. You're a child, Dave. You're a child. So it's like, yeah, so what did he want then? Oh, I don't know. This show didn't tell me. So they then arrive at Dathomir. And they're like, we're here, Thrawn. We've arrived at Dathomir. And then this is like the stuff that they were putting on here. Still don't know what it was. And they don't tell us what it is. They just have this visual. And like, oh, look at that. Yeah, I don't know what it is, Dave. I don't know what I should be thinking here. Should I be worried? Because I don't think so, based on what we've seen. So then this ship arrives. It arrives. Oh, we finally get to see Hera. Yeah, her story didn't mean anything either. She had nothing to offer. So then this person comes out. Of course, we already know, oh, it's Ezra. I don't know what the theatrics are for. It's like, Ezra, mate, you're dressed as a stormtrooper. You're walking on board this ship. You got a helmet on. They don't know that you're Ezra. Surely you don't want to get shot? But that's I don't understand the theatrics here. It's just meant to be, oh, that's a cool reveal, isn't it? No, it's very stupid. It's like they could have easily shot him there. So she's like, oh, Ezra, you're back. And Ezra don't think to go instantly, yeah, I'm back, but fucking Thrawn's back as well. We gotta prepare. We gotta get fucking... No, none of that. None of that. Just let's smile and hug. It's like, do people not realise that they're never concerned about anything. Never at all. So that's how that ends. They're all smiling. It's like, no, this ain't a happy ending. This is not... There is no happy ending here. You have been left in another galaxy. Ezra has been sent back. He may be dead. Thrawn has escaped. He's back in the galaxy. And you know what that means. So don't smile. Realise what the situation is. And act like people. Just act like people. That's all you got to do. But no, they're both sociopaths. So then Ahsoka's looking out. So, you know, Sabine goes, oh, it's... Thrawn got away. And Ahsoka's like, oh, it isn't your fault. So she's just like, oh, you got Ezra home. It's like, no, he might be dead. You don't know that. But yeah, they're just giving her a pass again. They start smiling. And then Sabine's like, oh, I felt nothing. Oh, same as me then. So then Ahsoka looks out. Oh, no, look who it is. It's Jangle the Keys. It's Mr. Jangles. He's now a Force ghost. Okay, he just showed up randomly at the end. Okay. And that gets us to the end of the finale. What a dog shit series that was, huh? I've got no other words for it other than that, because that's exactly what it is. So, you know, again, I don't know if this is getting a season 2. You've left it that way. Nothing's been resolved. Because you don't... Again, it's just dragged out. It's so dragged out. Just everything is padded and dragged out. It's like we could have done all this shit within 3 episodes. That's what the amount of stuff we got out of this show could have been done within 3 episodes. Probably 3 20-minute episodes. Because that's how little stuff there is in this entire season, because the only purpose of it is to lead you like a blind horse into next product. That's why it's so obvious. That's the reason why. They still have the balls to say based on Star Wars by George Lucas. Sure it is. Keep telling yourself that. It's definitely not. Nothing George Lucas about it. I mean, we've got magic bullshit that we're not going to explain. We can now raise people from the dead. I mean, that makes Anakin's story pointless, doesn't it? You know, all the stuff he done to raise people from the dead, or stop people from dying. It's like, oh, he could have just went to these Dathomir people. He didn't have to join the Empire. He just could have went over there. So that's what we have for episode 8. 8 episodes, and we haven't achieved anything. We still don't even know anything about Ahsoka or Sabine, other than that Sabine is a selfish piece of shit. We don't know anything about... Hera was like in the show. She got forgotten about. You got people like Morgan that is in the same position. You got people like Thrawn. It's like, yeah, he's just dumb. He's an idiot. You know, a coping idiot. Then we have, you know, we got the Anakin Jangle keys. That didn't have nothing. That had nothing of value. There's just nothing in this show. It is just moving pictures with bad acting and bad writing. That's what we've ended up with throughout an 8-episode series, but I'm pretty much ready to be done with it. I don't want to think about it again, which I think that's going to be the case for everybody come Monday. Once people have done taking the piss out of it or praising it to the high heavens because they got no standards, yeah, it'll be done. It will be a show that will be forgotten. No one's going to remember it. It's not going to be mentioned like Empire Strikes Back is mentioned, even though apparently episode 5 of this series is higher rated on IMDb than The Empire Strikes Back, which is just absolutely insane and a lie. But I suppose that's the entire series out the way. Ah, what a giant waste of fucking time.